Hello, this is the Silver Watchman, and welcome back to the Hopeless series. Now, this should be episode number 28. Of a, I'm not even sure how long series, but thank you for following me for this long on this journey. Now, previously on the Hopeless series, we talked about God's creation and Satan's corruption. But what are the corrupted exactly? To overly simplify it, they are pale imitations of what God has made. But they're not imitations made by man. Imitations that were of something else that was repurposed to mimic something that God's creation would do. Say, for example, is a demon. The demon are made from what's left behind after a person passes on to the next stage of existence. Or as you like to call it, death. Meanwhile, nobody actually really dies unless you live a life without God, in which case then you actually do die, but you die twice. Your first death is the death of a spirit. That's what happens when a person becomes corrupted with sin. The second death is when your physical body is unable to continue on in this realm, hence dying twice. Then your soul goes before judgment, standing before God, or more accurately to say, you do. And if you had no relationship with God whatsoever, you are rejected from heaven and cast down into hell for all eternity. A horrible place. Just a horrible place it is. I've only seen 3 sections, but I can tell you this: I would not even wish that on my worst of enemies. I would rather everyone go to heaven and know God, especially those that I love. It's crazy though. What happens? But back to what I was saying before, corruptions. God has on his side that he's made prophets, healers, fighters. No, not fighters. I guess a proper term for it would be exorcists. Teachers. Healers. Oh wait, I already said that. Let's see. There's some more, but oh, right. Translators. I don't know if that's the right word, but those people have the gift of tongues. Meaning they can speak any language without ever having to learn it. They just know it. Even able to commune with the angels of heaven, using a language that has been forgotten to man, because God willed it. Now, opposite side of the spectrum, to mimic the prophets, Satan has corrupted some and made them oracles. To mimic the exorcist, those that are designed to fight against the demon. Granted, anyone who knows God and has a Holy Spirit has capacity to combat any demon. But it doesn't mean that they're designed for it. It just means that they can. But those that are specially designed, like someone like me, will be able to withstand a lot more. Even to the point where if anyone else were to face those kind of circumstances, their mind would shatter within minutes, if not seconds. Now to mimic that, Satan has corrupted some to be more aggressive, with more, instead of having God-given strength and power, they have demonic strength, demonic power. To mimic the ones with the gift of tongue, they were able to speak any language. Satan has corrupted some to be soothsayers, or also known as the ones with silver tongues, meaning they could say whatever you want them to say, if for nothing else than to win you to their side. And all right then, let's see what else there is. What else? There are what else? Oh right, to mimic the healers, are ones that could use holy energy to heal, and in some cases destroy. Satan has his magic users that use magic and life force to restore life force to others or take it away. Meanwhile, healers designed by God have no need for that. When they heal, it's with holy energy, with prayer and faith in God. I also forgot something to mention, something really, okay, so the teachers of God's word, God's will, And the opposite of that, you have corruptors. The teachers help and heal. While the corruptors do not heal. Instead, they focus more on breaking you down mentally and making you more subservient. Now, there's also very important differences as well. God has his chosen, also known as the saints, the disciples. Now, an apostle, there are no more spots left to be an apostle. There were only, if I'm correct in my numbering, 12 apostles. That's all there ever was room for. Those guys walked with God while God was here on earth. But there's lots of room to be a disciple, meaning one who follows after God and learns from God and those of God, depending on how close the person's relationship with God is. Opposite side of the spectrum, though, there are Satan's acolytes. People, if you ask them, they say that they're blessed. But I know otherwise. Those are people that are cursed with demonic powers and abilities in exchange for human souls. It's disgusting to me. It's disgusting. They would go as far to even cannibalize their own friends and family, if it meant just a little more power. If they do not come to know God, then they shall know damnation. Sorry about that. Yeah, but that's... yeah. But other than that, sorry. That data does strike a tad bit of a negative nerve with me. It's not a good nerve. It's an awful one. It's an awful nerve, indeed. Now, can one person of God have multiple blessings and abilities in which allows them to do a whole multitude of things? Yes, very much so, yes, because God, more often than not, does not make one person do just one thing. Whereas on the opposite side of the spectrum, Satan's, whoever he enslaves, he normally just corrupts them to do that one thing, repurposes them to do that one thing, so he can control them easier. Meanwhile, God's like, okay, here's a blessing, you're gonna need this for this, and here's this blessing, you're gonna need that for that, and here's that blessing, you're gonna need that for this, this, and that. Which honestly makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Also, I'd like to point out that these little like sidekick characters are very, very cute. Look at that. He's like a little sea urchin with a little smiley face on it. That's adorable. I'm sorry, I've always been a sucker for cute things, but... Oh, that's a crack. That's another one. That's a lot of those. Good gosh. Every time I don't move for like 5 minutes. But I digress. Satan is incapable of creating anything new, but he'll promise people new power, new glory, new anything. He promises them the world, whatever it is that they desire. If a person is greedy, then he'll either promise them power or glory, the money included. You know? But it's always a lie. It's always a lie. At the end of the day, the person is just there, a hollow husk of themselves, a forgotten memory of what they should be. And that's not right. That's not right in the slightest. It's wrong. I've seen it happen so many times where so many people get corrupted and they get so broken. And I wonder to God, can you even fix them? And God's response every single time, like epically, is always, yeah, no, I could totally fix them. Trust me. I fixed you. I could fix anyone. Which is a very, very true to honest response. Because God is honest. And God is great and kind. In fact, He's my only reason for living. But I guess you'll learn more about that in my testimony, wouldn't you? I thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sitting here and listening to me, as some would put it, ramble on against eternity, or whatever. I don't know what some people say. But I still say glory be to God in the highest. Thank you all. Blessings be upon every single one of you. And this is the Silver Watchman, signing out.